I watched the teachings from once the strongest man that becoming the strongest is a team effort. One must eat raw eggs to build raw strength. I searched in 100-mile radius, but finding eggs is not an easy task. After all, that's the current currency for survival. I even dyed my hair in yellow in hopes of attracting more eggs, but even ice cream shops had none. I was becoming desperate. With no eggs in sight, I needed some time for myself. Should have known better that the competition never sleeps. I started searching in more contained areas. No eggs inside, I hoped that trash can would at least have some eggshells. The bait shop sure must have it, but only worms were left, as if someone was toying with me. I took a deep breath and went on a rampant search. Dressed in yellow jacket, I hope to signal that I'm not interested in fighting. I just want eggs. I had to check how much gains I've lost and managed to find my favorite movie. Finally, after days of searching, I found the required ingredients for raw strength. Obviously, I was not the first one to reach the checkpoint, so I had to push myself through the crowd. Before the training, I wanted to duplicate recently found eggs, but I had no patience waiting, so I just grabbed what I saw and headed home. I asked my newly found friend for any last advice, but since he wouldn't share any, I just took him with me and started a real session with my new supporter Dak. Forgetting that his legs are numb, I should have expected that he wouldn't start training because of the armchair. I tried to explain to him that it's not a joke, it was just a simple slip-up on my part, but he wouldn't listen. I hoped that Dak would get over it by the next day, so I went to sleep, guessing the problem would fix itself. And surely it did. The armchair was gone. Finally, we could start our warm-up. I promised Dak that I will bring a proper TV so that we can attract more supporters. Found one guarded by the former hockey player, so I figured he would join my warm-up and go shower, enough time for me to grab the TV. He wouldn't let his guard down, so I charged and took him down. Put on his gloves to protect myself from any future splinters, marked the territory, and grabbed what I came for. Must have been hours, as Dak was already asleep. I told him tonight he can sleep on my bed, and started to prepare a real space for me and Dak. Content with the setup, I put on the movie I grabbed earlier and asked Dak to join in. One must remember, the strength is within the eggs, not legs. He was ecstatic. Finally, a supporter I can rely on. With no hesitation, I started with squats and push-ups. But after a while, I figured there is something wrong with Dak. Turns out nothing was wrong with him. He just couldn't see the TV as it was too high. The next day, I watched a bit of TV with Dak as he didn't sleep a single hour. But I really needed to train again, so I turned the TV off. That made Dak furious. I tried to reason with him that the TV was just to increase the focus. It was never meant to replace our training sessions, but he just wanted to watch more TV. So I did the unthinkable. I kicked Dak, and that set him straight. He trained with the TV off, which was a huge progress. From that moment on, I knew it's time for more supporters to join in. So I went to see if anyone else was coming, and sure enough, they were. I yelled for Dak to greet them, but he locked himself in my room. Out of shyness, I guess. I felt sorry for him, so I let him watch a bit more TV, but this time, static only. I finally opened the door and let them in, but I knew Dak would never want to share his TV, so I had to find another one. I went to the house just across ours, and TV was right there, but I found something else. The neighbor was creeping on us the entire time. I said that for now we are full, and went back. Judging by the broken glass, I knew something was off. It wasn't just the static TV, but one of the supporters got really upset for the amount of time it took me to come back. I said that we should take it outside and politely try to talk my way out of it, but he wouldn't have it. Spitting on my back. I didn't want to do it, so at first I just tried to keep the distance, but no argument would enter his head, so I did what had to be done. Unfortunately, Dak saw it. I knew he would never forgive me for this, knowing that I will have to build an entire new supporter team. I started right away by placing raw eggs, fully aware it would attract all kinds of beasts. Didn't have to wait long. One was still there. I dodged him knowing he was a member of the old crew, crawled myself in, and there it was. The neighbor came willingly without the need of eggs, so I cleaned myself up to look presentable and entered from the main door. As first impression matter, I didn't want to look like some kind of creep. He waited. Unsure if he was upset about the TV or was it about the training, I put what I took down, hoping he was here for the session. Oh boy, was I wrong. He read somewhere that eating someone else's muscles lets you absorb it for yourself. Tried to fight back, but it was way over my sleeping time. Richer with more experience, I know what is required. My name is Zeniipa, and as a virtual bodybuilder, I will build my gym up.